Hello friends and family, it's me, Stephen. Yeah, I tried a little video again just now and then I got a phone call that came in, so I was interrupted. Nevertheless, here to discuss common law. Common law, as we know, the barons that invoked Article 61 on the 23rd of March 2001. It happens to be a very, very important day because it was a Shabbat day. It was a petition made by the people and a declaration made to Yahweh, because that's the day, he says in Exodus, he says that the temple is open only on his Shabbat days from sunup to sundown. So that day, being his ordinances of the cycles of the planets and the earth, is declaration of his true Sabbath. Because from that, 20 years later, we're now sitting here and we are going through incredible changes around the world. So it is said that common law is the highest law, because by invoking that article, it changed the realm. Now, prior to that, in 1999, in America, there were also some major events taking place involving the UCC and a couple other things, and also to do with common law and the country being bankrupt. And then there was a 4-day period. Very, very, very interesting stuff, because there we have 1999 and 2001. So these things are very, very, take note. That's all I can say. Take note of these things, because these things are world events that change our lives for good. And if we don't use the opportunity with the loopholes in the contracts and the legal systems and the treaties that were signed, there's no way of getting back to the ways of Yahweh. So now people say that common law is the highest law. Okay. And they also refer it to as natural law. So we have maritime law, we have natural law, common law, equity law, trust law, admiralty law. So you sort of think, wow, there's so much. Now, one person made a comment that the average everyday man faces 22,000 laws. How the heck are you supposed to know all these laws and know what's going on with them? Because even for the lawyers, it's too much. So they have specialists in different divisions of the different laws, and in each law there's a different section. So it's almost impossible to know what's right and wrong. Okay, but let's just do a little bit of background in history. Abraham, who we are told is our father, our forefather, sons of Abraham. What did he do? The reality is he broke away from the empire law which was established by Nimrod. Now, Nimrod had a law which split things up. Now, that law would be civil, trade, and then also spiritual law. And just for the sake of those that are out there that haven't heard this before, there's no such thing as a Holy Spirit, okay? There's no such thing as a Jesus. Yahweh is the one and only deity of deities. So when Yeshua came, we're not supposed to replace him with a Jesus guy. We are supposed to understand that Yeshua, Yasha, as correctly pronounced, is Yod He Vav Shinayin. Now, Shinayin means save us, help us, deliver us. So when we go Yahshua, it's not rocket science. It's just a simple case of you invoking the name Yah, say, hey, Yahweh, help us and save us and deliver us. So there can't be any other replacement of that name. It's impossible, because there's no contract in that name. It is only in the name Yeshua, because you're calling on Yahweh. Furthermore, the name Yeshua is also the signature of the contract that Yahweh made. So the Shin and the Ayin is, as we devour, chewing on His word, studying His scriptures, the Torah in particular, He then watches over it to fulfill that which it has been set out to accomplish. Because it's written in the text. He will watch over His word. And then you ask, what word? Certainly not Christianity, my friend. He's talking about His Aleph Tav and the Torah. The two go hand in hand. These are the two witnesses. Actually, yeah. The Torah and the Word. So when one delves into the incredible connection with the Aleph Tav, it's just mind-boggling, because it puts everything straight. The concepts, the precepts, the ideas, everything that comes out of it is just life. So now I beg to ask the question, which is the highest law? Now, there are many Torah observers, there are many religious guys, Christians, Muslims, you name it, doesn't matter. They're now understanding the common law is important, natural law. But yet you have the Muslims which are pushing Sharia law. And then you got the Jews, the Orthodox guys, which are now pushing the Noahide law. There's something funny about all these laws, because they don't tie up with the original ordinances and the original scrolls of Yahweh. Well, not in my limited knowledge. And believe me, I've read a lot. But I still do not find the connection of all these religions having their laws being pushed. The first law, or the first horse, the white horse, was the white man pushing the Jesus gospel, because Jesus means war horse. Then you had the red horse, and I think it's got something to do with China, but I still haven't found that connection there. Yahweh will share it with me when He's ready. However, you have the black horse, judgment scales. So judgment scales, the black and the white issue is being resolved, so that black people are equal to white people. They were taught the Jesus doctrine. So don't throw out the baby with the bucket. Please, guys. The Jesus doctrine was part and parcel of our foundations of returning back to Yahweh. So don't mock any of these things, because you'll be mocking Yahweh. Careful. So I'm blessed to sit here before you and ask the question, now what law, Yahweh? Because if we come out the common law, and I've come into the common law, we now have the right to choose. Because once you're out of the CQV trust and you have used the common law to dissent, you now are classified as a free man. Right. But you still make use of the benefits of the contractual treaties and everything that have been set up around the globe. So one can still survive in that system. But it doesn't mean to say you're part of that system. So my question is that possibly the born again scenario? Because we were lost and dead at sea. Now we are born again. I was told by an erroneous Christianity doctrine that being born again is born of the Spirit. Whatever that means, it didn't change anything in my life. There was a lot of euphoria that goes into it, where you get prayed for and you pray for people, and there's a lot of endorphins that are rotating around in your system, and it gets that feel-good scenario, but you're still sick. So yeah, for people that have been healed that way, good for them. If they haven't, well, guys, I strongly believe in the Torah and the ordinances and the structures that Yahweh put there, because it's a contract agreement. He said that if we return to His ways, He will restore us. He will restore the covenants. He will restore the protection mechanisms. He will restore the financial mechanisms. He is the one who does it. And in my previous video, I spoke about Lyme disease, 400,000 parasites in your system. There's no doctor that can understand how that stuff works. And I'll challenge anybody who thinks that. And just bring your evidence, scientific evidence, because we will fight. And Yahweh wins all the time. So anyway, this law structure, because now tomorrow is a Sabbath day, but because the legal system and the world system and every operating company, whatever you want to call it, are working on that specific day. So therefore, one can't hold the Sabbath day properly, where one rests and dedicates their oaths and their petitions the whole day and their time and effort with His Majesty. Because some Palookas many years ago, decided that the stars and the moon and all the ordinances are on different times to when Yahweh declared it. And Yahweh said in Jasher and Jubilees that we would lose our way and we will not find our way back. So please, even if you're a Jew or a Christian, don't think you have the way back. That is Yahweh's domain. And when He finds that you are worthy, then He will start opening doors. This is not my opinion. I am flabbergasted because I am absolutely humble. I've listened to all the teachings. I've read so much. But I'm sorry, I cannot trust anything any man says. Even if he is a rabbi from Judaism. He might have some good, valuable teaching, and I respect that man. There are some good teachings within the Christian doctrine as well. But I still cannot trust these people, because they have gone to a school of thought that is not the school of thought of Yahweh. I asked myself the question years ago, where is Levi? Who is training the people of Yahweh back into the ordinances? Because that's what Abraham did. He left the legal system. He left everything that man were forced by the elites. And you know the elites today. We all know about the elites. They're sitting in government. They're super wealthy. They manipulate tax. They don't even pay tax. And you just think, well, what is this world all about? Well, let me tell you what. Get back to the laws of Yahweh. More than that, I cannot tell you anything. Because it is written, and the Bibles have been tried to be destroyed. And recently there was a fire in a building, and there was a Bible that was burnt, and only one page was not burnt. Leviticus 26. And stop reading the blessings there, my friend. Go read what the curses are, because the curses are the reason why you're sick and why your life is destroyed. Financially, health-wise, legally, your property is going, or it's lost, or you don't know how to get it back. Guys, my heart cries out for people, as I said to you before. I love people. And I speak with a humble heart when I speak to people. And when people get arrogant and they know it all, I close my mouth and I be quiet. Because they're not engaging with what Yahweh wants to say. I'm not Yahweh, guys. I've just spent a lot of time with Him. I'm living here today because of Him. Not because of some Jesus guy. But because Yahweh's contracts are established for eternity.